The United States of America 1776 to 1976 D $1 coin, featuring the inscription, "In God We Trust," is a special edition dollar struck to commemorate the 200th anniversary of American independence. Commonly known as the bicentennial Eisenhower dollar, this coin was minted only between 1975 and 1976, yet it bears the dual date 1776 to 1976 to symbolize the nation's journey from its revolutionary beginnings to modern times. The D mint mark placed just below Eisenhower's neck indicates it was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the U.S. Mint's major production facilities. Millions of these coins were minted for general circulation, but despite their relative abundance, they remain an iconic collectible because they were the first circulating U.S. dollar coin design change in decades, and they represent a patriotic burst of national pride during America's 200th birthday celebrations. On the obverse front, the coin features a portrait of Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States and Supreme Allied Commander during World War II. The portrait was designed by Frank Gasparo, who also served as chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. Surrounding Eisenhower's image are the phrases "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," along with the dual date 1776 to 1976, which sets this coin apart from earlier Eisenhower dollars that featured a single year. Eisenhower's inclusion on the dollar reflects not just admiration for his leadership, but also the U.S. Mint's desire to connect the bicentennial celebration with strong national figures who defended freedom. However, the true highlight of the bicentennial dollar lies on the reverse, back, design, which was selected through a national competition. The winning design, created by art student Dennis R. Williams, depicts the Liberty Bell superimposed over the surface of the moon. This imagery cleverly merges two powerful symbols of American achievement, the Liberty Bell representing independence and revolution, and the moon symbolizing the triumph of modern technology and the 1969 Apollo 11 moon landing. Tiny details like the crack in the Liberty Bell and the craters of the moon show the Mint's dedication to precision, even on a coin meant for everyday use. Above the image reads, "United States of America," while "E pluribus unum," Latin for "out of many, one," sits proudly near the top. At the bottom is the denomination, $1. Most 1776 to 1976 D. Eisenhower dollars are made from copper-nickel clad, meaning they consist of a pure copper core with outer layers of nickel, giving them a silvery appearance. However, the U.S. Mint also released special collector editions in 40% silver, but these were only available in proof or uncirculated sets sold directly by the Mint, not found in normal pocket change. If your coin has a smooth, grayish tone, it's likely copper-nickel. If it has a slightly warmer, silvery white hue and feels heavier, it may be silver, though this is rare for circulation coins from Denver. Most D mints are standard clad issues. In terms of value, the majority of circulated 1776 to 1976 D. Eisenhower dollars are worth around $1 to $3, mainly due to their large size and historical appeal. They're not considered rare, but collectors still seek out well-preserved examples, especially those with sharp details and minimal scratches. Coins that are uncirculated, never used, or professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC can fetch higher prices, sometimes $10 to $30, depending on condition. Silver-clad proof versions, on the other hand, can be worth $12 to $20 or more, particularly if kept in original government packaging. Beyond money, however, the bicentennial dollar holds deep nostalgic value. For many Americans, it represents a time of patriotic celebration, parades, fireworks, and renewed pride in the nation's founding ideals. The Liberty Bell and Moon design captures the spirit of freedom, unity, and progress, and Eisenhower's steady gaze on the obverse reminds collectors of leadership in both war and peace. Even today, the coin is often given as a gift to children or new collectors, serving as a sturdy introduction to U.S. numismatics. Because Eisenhower dollars are large and heavy, 38.1 millimeters in diameter, they feel substantial in the hand, unlike the smaller dollar coins that came later. In short, the 1776 to 1976 D. Eisenhower bicentennial dollar stands not just as a piece of currency, but as a symbolic tribute to 200 years of American resilience. Whether you own one as a collector or stumbled upon it in a coin jar, it carries with it a powerful reminder of how far the nation has come, from revolution to moon landings, and how its values, like the phrase stamped boldly on its face, "In God we trust," continue to endure. Next top. The 1990 United States half dollar, officially known as the Kennedy half dollar, represents not only a circulating coin but also a piece of American history and sentimentality. First introduced in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy following his assassination in 1963, the coin retained its iconic design in 1990, featuring Kennedy's left-facing portrait. The United States of America bicentennial half-dollar dated 1776 to 1976 with the D Mint mark, produced at the Denver Mint, is one of the most recognizable commemorative circulation coins in modern U.S. numismatics, issued to celebrate the 200th anniversary of American independence. Unlike typical coins that carry a single-year date, these pieces feature a dual date, 1776 to 1976, to symbolize the span of history from the nation's founding to the bicentennial year, and they retain the traditional motto, "In God We Trust," prominently on the obverse beneath the bust of President John F. Kennedy, who had first appeared on half dollars beginning in 1964 following his assassination, making this coin both a patriotic commemorative and a continuation of the Kennedy legacy. The obverse, designed by Chief Engraver Gilroy Roberts, remains unchanged from earlier Kennedy halves aside from the dual date, but the reverse, designed by Seth G. Huntington after winning a national competition, replaces the standard presidential seal with a dramatic image of Philadelphia's Independence Hall, the historic building where both the Declaration of Independence and U.S. Constitution were debated and adopted. Above the hall appear the words, 200 Years of Freedom, while United States of America and half dollar, arc along the rim, and a small bell tower-shaped D is struck near the lower right to indicate its origin at the Denver Mint. Most of these coins were struck in copper-nickel clad, a core of pure copper layered with nickel, weighing 11.34 grams and measuring 30.6 millimeters in diameter, with a reeded edge like other modern half dollars. But special 40% silver collector editions were also issued in 3-coin bicentennial sets sold directly to the public, although the 1976 D commonly found in circulation is almost always the copper-nickel version, with mintages exceeding 287 million, making it widely available and typically worth only face value unless in exceptional uncirculated or proof-like condition. Despite their abundance, many people treasure these coins for sentimental or historical reasons, often keeping them in drawers or jars as souvenirs rather than spending them, which is why they rarely turn up in daily circulation today, even though they remain legal tender. Serious collectors often look for varieties such as high-grade MS66 or MS67 examples certified by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC, as those sharply struck, lustrous coins can fetch significantly higher prices, sometimes in the tens or even hundreds of dollars. The phrase, "In God We Trust," which first appeared on U.S. coinage during the Civil War and became mandatory on all U.S. coins in 1938, is positioned on the Kennedy half just left of center, below the chin of Kennedy's portrait, and is sharply raised in bold block lettering. On well-worn circulated examples, this motto can become faint, but full, strong lettering is often considered appealing to collectors. Although the 1976 D bicentennial half dollar is not considered rare in general, it carries immense cultural and emotional value, symbolizing national pride, remembrance of history, and the enduring American spirit. Even people with no numismatic expertise often recall receiving one in change as a child or being given one by a grandparent, reinforcing its status not merely as currency, but as a physical token of patriotism and nostalgia. Today, while its monetary value remains modest in most cases, large quantities survive in hoards, albums, and collections, and its enduring popularity ensures it remains an iconic and beloved coin, one that bridges the past and present with its dual date, its powerful imagery of Independence Hall, and its dignified motto, "In God We Trust," which together affirm both America's heritage and its ongoing identity. Next top. The United States of America half-dollar dated 1776, 1976, D is one of the most iconic commemorative circulation coins ever issued by the U.S. Mint, created to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, marking America's bicentennial. Unlike regular Kennedy half-dollars, which normally display only a single year of issue, this special edition uses a dual date, 1776 to 1976, symbolizing 2 centuries of American independence. The D mint mark below John F. Kennedy's neck on the obverse signifies that this particular coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the primary minting facilities of the United States. The obverse retains Gilroy Roberts' classic left-facing portrait of President John F. Kennedy, first introduced in 1964 as a tribute shortly after his assassination. Beneath his chin appears the inscription, "In God We Trust," a traditional motto used on U.S. currency since the 19th century and positioned prominently to reaffirm American national identity and religious heritage, especially fitting for such a patriotic commemorative issue. The reverse design is completely unique to the bicentennial coinage, crafted by Seth G. Huntington, featuring a detailed depiction of Independence Hall in Philadelphia, the historic building where both the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution were debated and adopted. Surrounding the hall are the inscriptions "United States of America," half-dollar, and the special commemorative phrase, "200 Years of Freedom," along with the Latin motto, "E pluribus unum," meaning, "out of many, one." Most bicentennial half-dollars, including the 1976 D, were struck in copper-nickel-clad composition, 75% copper, 25% nickel over a pure copper core, weighing 11.34 grams with a diameter of 30.6 millimeters and featuring a reeded edge, making it compatible with circulation. However, there were also special collector's editions struck in 40% silver, but those were exclusively issued in mint and proof sets and are distinguishable by their slightly brighter luster and higher weight. The Denver Mint alone produced well over 200 million bicentennial half-dollars, meaning that while the coin is not rare in typical circulated condition, it holds strong historical and nostalgic value for collectors and everyday Americans alike. In circulated condition, the 1976 D half-dollar is generally worth 50 cents face value, though shiny, uncirculated examples can sell for $2 to $5, and high-grade certified specimens, MS-65 or higher, may reach $20 or more. Silver-clad versions struck at the San Francisco Mint with an S mint mark, especially in proof condition, can be worth significantly more, often ranging from $7 to $15 depending on condition. While many people assume the bicentennial 1776 to 1976 coinage is rare or exceptionally valuable, its true significance lies less in monetary worth and more in its role as a widely circulated tribute to American history, making it one of the last U.S. commemorative coins that actually entered day-to-day commerce. Today, the bicentennial half-dollar remains a patriotic keepsake, often found in family coin jars, veteran gift sets, and school history projects, serving as a tangible reminder of how the nation chose to honor 2 centuries of independence through everyday currency. Whether you view it as a collectible, an heirloom, or simply a cool piece of American change, the 1976 D. Kennedy bicentennial half-dollar stands as a powerful symbol of national pride, historic memory, and shared cultural identity. Next top.